Today, we're going to be talking about the MW3 campaign. So, I know that it's received a lot of reviews already, a lot of slack and everything. We're going to try and cover everything that we can in today's video. I'm going to try and be completely unbiased because I actually am a huge fan of the original MW3. So, if this ruins it, I'll be making a separate video talking about why this game sucks compared to the original one. But for right now, we're going to be just looking at this game's story elements, and obviously the gameplay for MW3 has already been reviewed in one of my previous videos, so the gameplay for multiplayer hasn't really changed much. We're not going to be talking about gameplay, but we are going to be focusing a lot on the story in this video. First things first, if you're new around here, go to the description down below and make sure you follow all of our links to our social medias. We got Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter. We got everything that you guys could think of. Also, we have a Discord, so make sure you go enjoy our Discord as well. We're steadily working on our goal towards 200 subscribers right now, so if you guys could hit that subscribe button down below, that would greatly help our cause right now. And now, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so starting off with the campaign right here, the first thing that I have to bring up is the fact that the first mission is called Operation 627. You're going in there to rescue a prisoner, obviously, 627, which being Makarov, right? It's just really cliche, I feel like. You go to a prison, you gotta rescue this guy, but it's set in the year 2023. This kind of prison break would never happen around the world, like, in any kind of sense or fashion like this. Like, it's crazy, and yeah, maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit too much on the first mission here, but, you know, Makarov, I will say this, they made Makarov scary, they made him intimidating from the beginning of the game, they made him dark and mysterious, so now you're wanting to wonder what his motives are right now. But, pretty much, the first mission is Konni Operators, which you'll figure out what Konni is later on in the game. It's pretty much the terrorist group that you're fighting against. Konni Operators end up breaking Makarov out of jail in the first mission right here, setting up the rest of the events in the game to follow. So the next mission, as you playing, is Farah. Everybody remembers Farah, right? The weird, like, Middle Eastern girl that was from Modern Warfare 2019 MW2. She didn't really have a role in some of the stuff, but hey, she's back again. So right now we're going to Urzikstan, and we're going to one of the ports in Urzikstan, right? So the Konni is transporting missiles. Farah goes there to intercept the missiles, and the gist of this mission is by the end of the mission, you don't intercept any missiles, you put fucking trackers on the missile containers. So you're meaning to tell me that the whole Urzikstan military wasn't made aware of this in their port? They didn't send any soldiers out there to help out, and they just let missiles get transported through their country. The story's getting worse and worse. So this is where Call of Duty really messes up right here. So of course, leave it to Call of Duty, leave it to Activision to ruin Call of Duty's campaign and to give us a DMZ mode. That's what a lot of players are mad about. Almost every single map asset in this campaign was recycled. They used Verdansk from Modern Warfare 2019. They've used Al Mazrah from the new game. Everything is almost recycled assets at this point. So now you got this new mission coming out, right? And you're going to a nuclear facility to try and stop whatever Makarov's scheming up right now. You go to the nuclear facility, but before you start, you jump out of a helicopter, and guess what? It's just like a DMZ game mode. Like, I'm a big DMZ fan, don't get me wrong, I play DMZ a lot, make fun of me if you want in the comments, but I don't think that DMZ in the campaign has a place. Like, you literally jump out with a parachute, you got like 3 plates that you can equip to your character in the whole campaign, so it's just like Warzone in the campaign at this point with 3 plates, because apparently Call of Duty players aren't good enough to stay alive in the campaign no more on their own right. And on top of that, like, there's also vehicles that you can drive around in the Call of Duty campaign missions now. It's almost not a campaign mission anymore. It's like an open world, like, objective game. Oh, and side note, at the end of the mission right here, Captain Price almost dies to some chemical gas that gets released in the bottom of the facility, so they make this badass helicopter escape, and he goes up through like a cable to get out. The only problem is he accidentally inhaled some of the gas. So now, this is like the 3rd mission of the game, and everyone's starting to wonder, is Captain Price not going to be in the game now? He inhaled some of the chemical fumes. Is he going to be okay? Is he going to be physically or mentally disabled after this for the rest of the game? What is going to happen with him with this new condition? And then they don't do anything with it. We see him almost die and cough from chemical poisoning, I guess, and then there's not even a scene of him recovering. There's never a scene of it ever affecting him in the game, so that's great. Great storytelling. Alright, so the next two missions in Modern Warfare 3 campaign can be summed up like this. Price gets some screen time with Farah because they haven't seen each other since like Modern Warfare 2019 pretty much, or the raid missions on NW2. They have a little reunion, they go in this bunker together, they save some, or they try to stop some chemicals from being launched on some warheads, and then they don't stop the chemicals from being launched on the warheads. 2 missiles get sent off towards their allies. Price is like, you know, pooping his pants over here trying to tell people to watch out, so they pretty much fail their mission, so that's that mission. The next mission is they're infiltrating a base to figure out, you know, talk to a informant called Yuri. I'm sure that you guys remember the original Yuri from MW3. Well, this one's story is a lot more bland, like cereal, and not good. His story is that he's one of Makarov's buddies or whatever, and you sneak into this military base to talk to him and get some answers, and then it turns out at the very end of the mission he ends up betraying Makarov and giving you the information that you need, and nobody gave a fuck because nobody was like, oh my god, Yuri betrayed Makarov. Nobody said that, and after that you don't see Yuri for the rest of the game. No one knows if he's dead, and honestly no one cares if he's dead. At the end of the mission you gotta try and escape the base before it gets hit by missiles, and eventually you do escape, but then after that, I mean, it's Laswell that escapes. Do we really care if Laswell didn't escape anyways? Alright, so you might be thinking now like, oh, we're gonna get to the good stuff now, right? The No Russian mission, we're gonna go shoot up an airport again or something like that. No. Hell no. So, Makarov gets onto a plane, has some 3D printed Glocks pretty much from a 3D printer, which I mean that's pretty realistic. I'm not gonna lie. That's a realistic way that somebody would sneak a weapon onto a plane, right? So I don't mind that part of the mission. The part of the mission that I mind is they took the No Russian legend of No Russian and turned it into this bull crap that we got right here. Like, don't get me wrong, this mission was good. And the line where the guy looks at your character in the face and he's like, you look like a terrorist, like, and then he throws you into the crowd, we pretty much all know what's happening at that point right there, so I think that that's hilarious too. It's definitely sad, you're trying to stop the bomb, and no, I've already tried, there is no special way to stop the mission, there's no special way to stop the bomb or nothing like that, it goes off no matter what, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So yeah, that's the No Russian mission. It's definitely not as good as the last mission at all. Or the original, I should say, my bad, not the last mission. There's no missions in this campaign that's actually good or better than the other missions. They're all kind of bland in their own right. But yeah, the original No Russian mission, they brought a lot of disrespect on that for us. I mean, I know that COD's not as controversial as they used to be, but they could have done us a little bit better than this. Alright, so let's speedrun some of these missions right here that doesn't really matter in the middle of the campaign right here. So Farah ends up going out to get the black box from the plane that goes down, so she can prove that Urzikstan didn't shoot the plane down and that Makarov did it, right? She ends up getting the mission complete. She stops Makarov from controlling the narrative, but Makarov's not there, of course, so they look somewhere else. Then we go to a mission 4 years in the past, which we capture Makarov on a recycled Verdansk map, so that's fun. That's where they recycled the Verdansk map at. I'm glad they made out like it was 4 years ago, like when we still had the map in real multiplayer too, but at the same time, we haven't seen that beautiful map in a long time, unless they're going to reuse the asset for a campaign. After this, we go on a mission to capture Nolan and everything. These missions really suck, okay? Because no one knows who Nolan is. Like, he's been brought up in the story a little bit with Makarov, like, being one of his right-hand mans. But nobody really knows who Nolan is. Nobody cares who Nolan is. Like, he sucks. This whole mission sucked. It was a very long mission that literally was just capturing a guy on a rooftop. Like, it was so bad. The next mission gets a little bit more exciting, where they got like this convoy coming in, they think Makarov's in it, so they go underneath the ice, which, that's what I'm saying, the visuals in this game is insane. If they would have just got the story element a lot better, the visuals were like fine for this game. They blow up Makarov's car under the ice, and guess what? There's one survivor of these cars that fall underneath the ice, submerged in water, everybody's drowning, all the soldiers are dying. There's one man that survives. They pull him out of the water thinking it's Makarov, which, if that was the case, that'd be some really strong plot armor if Makarov was the only one that was magically able to hold his breath that long in freezing cold water, but no! It's even something greater than that. It's General Shepard. General Shepard is the one that you capture under the water, and then after that, you proceed to save this man in the mission and everything. He gives you intel on the next target that Makarov's looking for if you promise to get him out of the snowy wasteland that he got kidnapped to. The problem is, this man is in, like, straight up, like, a suit out here in the middle of like the tundra. He's got no gear on, and this man is not, because I am so like done with these kind of missions. This is the most boring kind of mission in any video game, and I can't believe that Call of Duty would do this to us, but like to the degree that they did. The next mission has you controlling an old AC-130 type gunship, just like all those missions and stuff. Like Like, that isn't the most boring shit in a game since 2005. Am I right or am I right? And not only is it, like, a mission where you're in an AC-130, you're in the AC-130 the entire fucking mission. As soon as you get done with the AC-130 part, it immediately opens up into another cutscene for the campaign. You literally spend an entire mission in an AC-130 just blasting shit. It's so dumb. And then you get this intel that Makarov is going to a subway, and he's planning some kind of bomb inside the subway. He's got some kind of plans with the rail, like the rail tracks and everything. The trains going between the two countries here. So the thing is, though, is you find out that Makarov was there 10 minutes before you were. Everybody's all gung ho, all gun crazy and everything. Let's go find this motherfucker. They get to the bomb, right? You guys go to storm the bomb, and then Soap dies. So, am I supposed to be angry about Soap dying here? Because an original MW3 fan, like, and this is where the real MW3 fan in me comes out, I have to compare the original MW3 Soap's death and the meaning and impact it had to this right here. And whenever you tell me to compare that to this right here, I can't, because there's no comparison between the scenes. The scene in the original MW3, the writing was so much better. Like, I mean, I'm glad that they have a big emphasis on gameplay, on graphics now in the newer games, but the story writing has been, like, ass. In, like, the past, like, 5 Call of Duty games now that's had stories, they've been ass. Like, every single Call of Duty story's been ass. And if they haven't been ass, they've been mediocre. Like, I'm getting really tired of this. They're taking, like, legendary characters that we care about like this from old games, and they're making them, like, pretty much into pussies by the time they come back, and, like, and it's just so sad, and then they kill them off. They expect us to care about these characters really bad right here and, like, buy into their franchise. Like, I don't want to buy into this fucking franchise anymore. This shit sucks. And then you're just sitting there thinking to yourself, like, holy crap, this is the shortest Call of Duty campaign I've ever completed. There's got to be more, right? And then it cuts to this scene. No, there isn't any more in this game. Soap's dead. The entire game's plot point pretty much revolved around Soap dying. Like, I feel like when they were at the board of directors meetings for this story right here, they just pretty much said out loud, let's make sure that Soap dies in this game, and we'll sell this shit. And honestly, this game is like so bad. Did so much disrespect on the Call of Duty story. It hurt the original franchise so much. I feel like it's hurt it for returning fans, and I mean, if you're a new Call of Duty fan, like brand new Call of Duty fan, and this is your first story that you've played, this one and MW2's and 2019 Modern Warfare's, I feel very bad for you. You need to branch out, you need to go download some Plutonium on your computer, and you need to go find where the good Call of Duty games are at, because if this is the only one you've played, holy hell, bro, somebody help you. And if you thought Call of Duty was going to end this game off with some kind of like sadness like that, no. They had to give us a post-credit scene to act like they were a Warner Bros. Movie or something, and they're far from that with their storytelling. And then we get this little scene right here with General Shepard sitting around his table. Obviously, from the tone of the setting, you can tell where this is going and everything. This man is about to die somehow, but it's a little bit up to our interpretation on why he dies, because in the story, he kind of redeemed himself a little bit. Yeah, he still lied to Congress in that scene with Graves towards the end of the game, which, yeah, I know I didn't cover that in this video. It really wasn't that important to the story or nothing like that. I'm sure they're trying to make Graves look like the big bad guy for, like, the next game in the storyline, but this game is just really pathetic with the story. I mean, most people's finishing this in 3 hours. I've seen some speedruns of this done in, like, 2.5 hours already. 2.5 hours is sad for a Call of Duty campaign, considering that most of them are, like, 8 hours long. But yeah, they leave us right here with killing General Shepard and acting like this is going to solve everything in the Modern Warfare story or whatever, even though we still got Makarov to worry about. Because this whole game, we've been trying to search for Makarov, and this whole story has showed us how bad our main characters are at actually finding this man. Not only that, when they actually find him and get to the bombs, they end up dying. Like, I'd be surprised in the, like, MW4 or whatever comes in the future of this, I'd be surprised if we didn't start off with a scene of Captain Price just getting his head blown off by somebody, just like this right here. It's crazy. The story writing in this game is crazy. It's just, it's very crazy. And I'm sure that I'm not the only guy that you've heard say this too. Let me know what you guys think about the Modern Warfare 3 campaign down in the comments section down below, and if you could, I'll make sure to put this little reminder in here a second time. We're trying to get to that goal of 200 subscribers, so if you guys want to help that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, go and follow our links down below. Make sure to join that Discord. We'll be having a lot of fun up in the Discord very soon. And I mean, as for that, that's the end of this video. I don't got much good things to say about Modern Warfare 3. They really need to change their stuff. I feel like this MW3 campaign is going to get so much slack that by the time it releases, they're going to have to release like an addition to the campaign to try and make up for this. I just hope that they don't try and do this in a raid top style like they did in Modern Warfare 2. If they do it in a raid style, that's probably going to make it worse. But either way, this is Cypher. I will see you guys next time.